Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Tamara, and today I'm going to be sharing where I'm currently at with my health journey and the winding path that has brought me here. If you've ever felt like you've done everything right, but your body is just not responding, or if you're simply exhausted from chasing weight loss at the expense of your health, this might be the video for you. Before we dive in, I just want to be clear that I am not a medical professional. Although I have studied nutrition for a very long time and am certified through precision nutrition at level 2 and also with NASM for behavioral change. So I am very familiar with what the industry standards are. More so, I am simply a woman trying to figure out her health and documenting it along the way. Okay, so where am I now? I am 44 years old, and this is the first time, I will say it's been a couple years, that I have not been chasing weight loss. Don't get me wrong, I would love to lose weight, but I am confident that healing my body, weight loss will be a side effect. The scale is really just one data point and really not even the best data point to gather information. In my 40s, my goal is to heal my Hashis, balance my hormones, reverse insulin resistance, which I didn't even know that I had, and find energy that's been missing in my life for so long. I have felt depleted since my 30s. And this is way too young. I know people accept that, oh, you're just getting older and this is normal. Well, when you witness 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80-year-olds with energy, you're like, if this is normal, then why do they have energy and I don't? I'm also learning to test my blood glucose and my ketones, which I didn't understand what ketones were. I thought it was part of a fad diet. So I am learning so much about this process. I'll be sharing the experience of what my body feels like when it's properly fueled and discovering what true health really means. I always hate the food labels, but I'm currently following a keto carnivore meal regimen, if you will. And I've noticed some improvements in my energy levels, my mental clarity, and with my hormones in just a short period of time. Now, a lot of people go on keto, and the first thing that they talk about is weight loss. That is something I have not seen, which made me dive in to the fact that I could be insulin resistant. Right now, I'm 5'3", 197 pounds, and my weight will fluctuate 197 to 199 every single day. It's just a little bit different, but it doesn't really move out of that range. The last time that I was really sick was in 2020 from we all know what. And I couldn't eat for 13 days and my weight dropped. I had no energy. It was a terrible feeling, but I was like, oh my gosh, the scale is finally moving. But of course, once you start eating, the weight goes right back on. What I'm chasing now is consistency with how I feel, consistently moods, consistently energy, consistent health. For the first time in decades, I'm starting to really find it and understand that it's okay for me not to go with the industry norms. My relationship with weight started really early. I was 8 years old and in elementary school, and I remember being one of two girls that had to go to the nurse's office so they could talk to me about obesity and changing my diet. Although childhood obesity is more common today, it wasn't in the 1980s. But I'll also be honest that back then, food was a comfort for me. I come from a very abusive home, and so it comforted me during those times. And then I found myself in a sexually abusive situation over in my teens, and it became my protection. The more weight that I put on, the less attractive I was, the less attention I got. So it became safety for me. So for almost 30 years, I chased weight loss and tried to mix that with feeling safe in my own body. And I've just learned so much, and I want to share that with you. In just the last decade alone, I have gained and lost over 500 pounds, up 30, down 40, up 50, down 20. It was a really constant roller coaster that just left me feeling physically and emotionally exhausted. If there's a diet out there, chances are I've tried it. Let me just run through a list of some of the things that I've tried. The Master Cleanse. I remember in 2008, my son had just been born. I just quit breastfeeding, and I remember Beyonce talking about or an article about Beyonce talking about the Master Cleanse, which is lemon juice, maple, and cayenne water. And you just drink that. The cabbage diet, which sounds as disgusting as it is. I was on prescription phentermine, which I had to get a letter from my doctor because I would fail a drug test in the military. That should have been eye-opening for me, but I was so obsessed with chasing weight. It was phentermine, cigarettes, and cardio. And yes, I did get down, but I was extremely exhausted all the time. My skin was extremely saggy and I just did not feel well. Then we have the low fat, low carbohydrate diets like Weight Watchers, which did not work for me. And from what I've heard, a lot of people say it works for them and then they stop because they never dealt with the issue, and they still had the hormonal imbalances. So then when they start eating normal again, or what their normal is, the weight comes right back on. Excessively exercising. I would exercise 2 to 3 times a day, an hour each time, which was physically exhausting on my body. A lot of that was excessive cardio. I did lift weights, but it was more so cardio to burn that fat because I thought that that was the way that you burn fat. And yes, there's some validity to it, but that's not the whole picture. I've had severe calorie restriction of 1,000 to 1,200 calories, which was recommended for a trainer for me to lose weight. I would obsessively log every bite and morsel that went in my body. I've tried eating 3 to 5 times a day, 3 meals, 2 snacks to keep my blood sugar regular. And maybe somebody with a healthy metabolism that may have worked really well. But for someone like me that I had no idea I had insulin resistance, every time I put food, my body was storing every single thing that I would put in it because that's what I trained it to do. Oh, and then there's juicing. Juicing always made me feel worse. I felt bloated, lethargic, swollen, and I seen it work for other people, and I'm like, why is it not working for me? I was vegetarian for many years. Then I transitioned to veganism. Still the same issue, low energy, extreme exhaustion. Weight did come off, but at what expense? Is it great to be thin, but still have no energy to do anything? And fasting felt impossible. I would try to do it, but it was like the hardest thing. I would have to stay in bed all day long because it felt exhausting. And I just was so hungry all the time, which I will say, I have been able to fast 16 to 18 hours on a day and eat within my window of eating, which gives my body some time to release some of the glucose that it's currently storing. And it has been easy peasy. Never in my life did I think I could get here. I can't even tell you the countless amount of supplements that I have stored away because I've tried every single thing, supplements, shakes, everything you can think of. The last time I tried keto, it was more dirty keto because I was very sugar addicted. So it would be like keto sweets, keto puddings, basically very dirty keto. I would count net carbs, which again may work for some people, but for me, it was not working. And so I needed to understand why my body was reacting the way that it was. Every time I encountered a professional, whether it was medical or fitness trainer, it was always the same advice. You have to really want it. Eat less, work out more, work out harder. And when you hear those things, it really messes with you mentally because you're like, maybe I just don't want it bad enough. Maybe I'm too addicted to food. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And it really takes a toll on your mental health. 2015 was really a breaking point for me because on paper, I was doing everything right. I was eating healthy. I was eating lean meats, veggies, steel cut oats, everything that you can think of, taking my supplements, working out every single day, doing HIIT workouts, lifting weights. and I still felt extremely exhausted, and it's almost like a depressed feeling. So of course I went to my doctor to explain the symptoms that I was having. There was a little bit of blood work done. My A1C was high. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't understand." I remember sitting on the couch and just bawling my eyes out because I'm like, I cannot eat any healthier than this. I don't know what's going on with my own body. I feel like an alien. And when you tell your doctors that you're doing this, this, and this, and they see your blood work, they're like, I don't really believe you. So then it's like a mistrust everywhere. And so I just really struggled with feeling like I had a hold in my body. So they wanted to fix the symptom, which is what our medical industry is trained to do. And it's so helpful in so many different ways. But I kept explaining that anxiety and depression were my symptoms. They weren't like my identity. And that's not the problem I want to address. I want to address what is causing that because my life was great. The moment that marked the beginning of my true health journey was really looking beyond weight loss to understand what was going on in my body. And I'll be honest, that just happened this year because I was like, maybe I'm just going to be overweight my entire life. Don't get me wrong, I still want to lose weight, but I'm done chasing the fads. I'm done with the shiny object syndrome. So just a little bit more backstory. In 2016, I had found someone that was willing to listen to me, and she tested my hormones. She checked my thyroid numbers, which nobody had done before. She checked my vitamin levels, and she's like, "How do you even get out of bed?" I remember bawling my eyes out because it was the first time I felt heard. I wasn't dismissed. She actually acknowledged what it was that I was feeling. That began my journey of thyroid medication and progesterone. In 2017, I had a provider go even further and she tested my thyroid antibodies. And she's like, "Do you know that you have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune that attacks your thyroid? If you don't know what your thyroid does, please go look it up because it's more than just about weight loss. It's cold hands and feet, it's anxiousness, it's hair growth, it's body temperature control. There's so much that your thyroid does. And when it's not functioning optimally, there are a lot of things that go wrong in your body." So even with those answers, I started feeling better about that it wasn't all in my head, but I would continue losing the same 5 and 10 pounds over and over, and I still didn't quite understand the whole picture. I would have to keep adjusting my thyroid medication. I would have debilitating flare-ups from Hashimoto's where I just felt like I couldn't get out of bed. So last year, I tracked my weight, which I have for years. But I actually have it on a graph that I want to show you here. And I had just lost the same couple pounds over and over and over. And it's so frustrating. Despite working out and eating healthy and doing all the things that I was supposed to be doing, I still struggled. And honestly, there's only so long that you can restrict your body before your body just, your willpower just gives out. It's like holding a beach ball down and you're stuffing all these feelings inside and you're like, "I just need to eat right. I need to do better. I need to eat more vegetables. I need to eat more lean protein." And your body is starving for something, but yet we really want to follow the industry standards, which work great for somebody with a healthy metabolism. But that wasn't me. And then the answer became clear that my approach was flawed for my body, for my metabolism. So I had to go to the drawing board and really dig deeper to what the root cause may be. I have prayed for so long for restoration and healing of my body and my husband's body too. He has his own story. And I ended up stumbling across some videos about people that were transforming their health, reversing their Hashimoto's, their blood pressure, their weight, all doing keto and carnivore. And I was like, "Oh gosh, here we go again, another fad diet." But then I started listening to what they were saying, and everything started to make sense to me. So I went home that afternoon and I was like, "I am doing this." And I invited my husband to join me. And he said, "I've been wanting to do this for so long." But honestly, I was so against him doing it because I thought it was a fad diet. So just to document some of the things that I have been feeling that I want to heal is obviously my Hashimoto's and putting it into remission or even being as close to zero with thyroid antibodies as possible. Extreme fatigue is something that I've dealt with where getting out of the shower, I have to go take a nap or rest my body because it was too much for me. Forget working out, forget anything that has been stressful. My body just wasn't able to handle that. I felt like I had to sleep very often, but the sleep wasn't restoring me like it should be. And then in the middle of the night, I would feel restless. So I'd wake up two, three, four times in the middle of the night, sometimes not able to go back to sleep. Since 2020, we all experienced something crazy. And since then, my immune system has been, it felt lower. Like I've been sick more since 2020 than I have 20 years prior. So I don't know if it's just the progression of my autoimmune or if something happened. I really can't answer that, but what I can do is try to improve my immune system where I am right now. I've had low testosterone for many years, which is very important for women. It's your sex drive, it's your drive for life. It's your ability to build and maintain muscle, which is very important, especially as we get older. I've had low progesterone, which is your peace hormone. It's what makes you not want to throat punch people. It's what's really important when you're pregnant. It's that hormone that is just extremely important. I have heavy and painful menstrual cycles, and usually 1 to 2 weeks before, I feel very emotionally unstable, which our society says that that's normal. Oh, you're just PMSing. But really, a healthy body should not feel that way. And of course, we have the stubborn scale that doesn't move. While this is probably the lowest on my totem pole, I know that it's going to happen when I figure out how to fix the symphony of hormones that is going awry in my body right now. All these symptoms aren't, oh, you're just getting older, or oh, you're just PMSing, or oh, welcome to adulthood. This is a body's cry for help. So I started this journey to keep myself accountable and to share my journey through this process, what's working, what's not working, and to connect with others that might be facing the similar struggles that I'm facing. I want to document real and unfiltered truth and healing from what my body has been through with dieting for decades. Some of the episodes that I am going to talk about in the future are what I'm eating, hormonal imbalances, and how they affect your weight and health, especially mentally, insulin resistance, and tracking your ketones and glucose, Hashimoto management, and what that healing process looks like. And to show you my labs as well, because numbers are what speak. So this is more than just a weight loss journey. It is about true health. I also want to share about my husband's journey because he had different symptoms than I did, but they're very real symptoms that a lot of people have just overlooked. And they would say, well, after 20 years of being in the military, of course you're tired. So I'm really excited to share all that with you. It's not about reaching a certain number on the scale. It's about achieving health and energy and clarity and really having peace with my body after years of war. So if you're on a similar journey, I would love to hear from you down in the comments and just to let you know that you're not alone. Our bodies are incredibly complex, and there really isn't a one size fits all, but there is information that can be shared that you could pull and apply to see if this is something that applies to you as well. I would love to hear from you. So if you have questions or feel like you connected, please let me know below, or in the show comments, you can send me an email. Next week, I'm going to talk about how I test my ketones and glucose from home and what those numbers represent, and the surprising connections that have fostered a lot of the symptoms that I'm currently having, and understanding how to reverse those. Until then, remember, this journey isn't about perfection. It is about progress, healing, and finding what works for you. Thanks again for joining me, and I'm Tamera. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.